All right, so it's time for us to have a conversation on parenting. And to do justice to that is Femi Shofoluwe, a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher with more than a decade hands-on experience, of course, with a burning desire to see an average youth become an exceptional young adult. And today, we will be discussing fatherhood, a vacant office in this generation. Wow, that's a huge subject.
It is.
And it's one that is going to shoot a lot of bullets.
Definitely.
But let's take it from the basics. What exactly is fatherhood? What represents fatherhood?
Like it's rightly said, fatherhood is actually an office. It's not a name. It's actually a function.
It's not a title.
It's not a title. It's an office. That need to, just like we have CEO, PRO, CSO, we have fatherhood. And fatherhood is mainly meant for a male to be occupied. But in some cases, when the position is vacant, we have seen some women stepped up to occupy that position.
So when we talk about fatherhood, you just agree that some women can call themselves king. Because we've been seeing a lot of that recently, where a woman has to take the role of father and mother and says, you know what, on Father's Day, I get to be celebrated. On Mother's Day, I get to be celebrated. But let's not focus too deeply on that. When we talk about the position of a father, which you said is vacant these days, what exactly is the function of a father? Why is a father so important in a child's life?
All right. I would like to begin from where we have the word father from. The word father came from an Hebrew word, haba. And haba means source, progenitor, provider, protector, and author, maker, all things in that line. And if you check the homes today, it's possible to have the male figure at home, but not fulfilling all this responsibility. And that makes it it makes the position of a father to be vacant. So male being at home is not enough to say that, oh, okay, they have father. To be a father, you have to carry out all these functions. Providing for the family, protecting the family, being the source of the family, such that if anything is happening in that family, it can be traced to you and you take ownership of it, you take responsibility for it. If you cannot do that and you are a male figure in the house, your position is vacant as a father.
But you know, these days, many people tend to blame women for everything. You just talked about taking responsibility, even not just these days, in the times of our parents as well. And I dare say the times of our grandparents. It stopped being a case of, oh, when a child does wrong, the family will be blamed. It became a case of, it's the mother's fault. And so you are talking about taking responsibility. Maybe you want to shed more light on that aspect.
All right. If you're a father and you are listening to me today, I want you to hone up to your responsibility. I believe this, and it's my personal belief, it doesn't transcend to any other person, that if anything go wrong in the house, the father should be held responsible. From wherever corner is coming from, if a woman, for example, slap a man, believe me, as a man, you need to be taken responsible for that too.
Why so?
The reasons for this is because you are the first person that went to the woman and said, you know what, I'm interested in you, I want to marry you. You should have done your due diligence to know the person you are getting married to. If you have not done your homework as a man, anything that goes wrong in the house still fall back on you.
But doesn't it seem like so much responsibility on a man?
That is why we say it's a rule. If you are not qualified for it, don't apply for it. You understand? If they say position is vacant, there is a qualification for it. If you are not qualified, don't go for it. If you know that you cannot take responsibility 100% for everything happening under your roof, you cannot be a father. And then, you see, some people, just because they can give birth to children, they think they are father. No, in fact, you don't need to have a child to be a father. I stepped into the position of a father at the age of 19. I became responsible for a lot of young people around me, people of my age, even some people who are older than me. You see, we see a lot of people in prison today because there's a lack of father figure in their life. A lot of people that are in prison today, go and check. There is a lack of father figure in their life. There's so much, there's just so much that a woman can do over a child. I give respect and kudos to all single mothers out there who are combining the role of a father with that of their, their home. But the truth is this: there is so much that a woman can do. There's a way that a man loves a child that a woman can never do.
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to take you there. Let's talk about the father and child relationship. What is it that a man must do right to his child for him to be called a good father, a responsible father?
A lot of fathers believe that once they can provide the basic need at home, they have done their role. That is just like 10% of your responsibility.
10? That's little.
Yes, just 10%.
There's a lot of work in providing,
You see, you see, all the things that you make efforts to gather, the day you die, they can be squandered at once. Everything will be gone. I mean, I saw a particular trend on Twitter some time ago of a person who had COVID-19 and was having a lot of difficulty breathing. And each time he remembered that these children, I mean, it's just like it's in a vision, that these children are squandering the money of his pension on girls and just enjoying their life. And he felt like, no, I will not die.
Wow.
I have to retrain these children. This is not how to spend money. See, as a father, let me say this. I have an acronym here, EAR. You must meet this responsibility. E, engagement. Engage with your children. It is very, very important.
Okay.
A, be available. And R, be responsible. If you are not meeting these 3 requirements, you are not fit to be called a father.
I'm pretty sure you've heard that. EAR, your ear should help you remember this. Thank you so much for your time, Shofoluwe. Thank you so much for your time. All right, we have to take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.